to like chase men down the alley because I don't need to be nipping at men's ankles.
Showing up at the door and like they come out of the door like, oh, you
or accepting strays that come down the street.
Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli. Welcome back to
the Cimorelli
podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 226. Today, we're going to be talking about what eras we're in our life. It's kind of like a life catch-up, what we're doing, how we're feeling, kind of what our vibes are, you know? And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
All right, then we're going to get to the highs and lows of our week, and then we'll get to that. First, I'm going to say, where's Lisa? Lisa's not here today. She's supporting her husband through his cancer treatment, so please keep their whole family in your prayers. They really, really appreciate it. So thank you guys for that. All right, highs and lows of the week, people. Highs and lows.
I could go. My low is that my husband's work schedule has been extra long this week. I'm just like, just when I think there's a light at the I feel bad I'm complaining, but I'm like, it's just
okay
tiring. Because I thought this morning he was going to be home. And then he's like, oh yeah, remember I'm going in early again. I was like, no. I thought it was the end.
You call us work to complain.
I mean, yeah. It's just a season that keeps recurring for some reason. But yeah, so I'm just tired of I don't know, just the solo.
That's you.
The solo. Yeah, it's the solo. Because I really feel like having multiple kids, it's like you need a teammate.
Yeah.
And when you're alone, it just feels like you're on a unicycle and your hair's on fire and you're spinning a plate. And you're like, someone come get me.
True.
Just try to keep the house from burning down. So yeah, just too much house burning down energy. It didn't burn down, but just the feeling that things are about to combust.
Yeah.
I would say that's my low. My high is, I don't know.
You got 3 of them. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, and they're so young. They're just like, no one can really take care of themselves except for, so it's just, yeah. But anyway, I would say my high, I've been trying to get out of my hole lately because I had some mental health lows recently.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, and I just like, my therapist had a really good reminder of like, let's get back to the basics. Like, what are the things you can do that will like lift your mental health? And my sort of like takeaway from that was like, okay, I need to see my friends and stop ignoring people and not responding to their texts and being like, I'm alone in the world. And it's like, yeah, because you're not responding to anyone. And see people and then go on walks. So I actually went on some walks with friends last week. That was great.
Nice.
I love it.
And I feel like that combo is very life-giving, you know? Some movement, some sun, some conversation, some connection.
You know what I realized?
That's good for the soul.
Kind of not the same. Okay, yes, all that, plus something else I realized. As mothers, getting the band forced me to be less depressed because we are forced to get dressed in a way and put on makeup and stuff in probably days that we would not normally.
Yeah.
And I realized how actually good that is. Not, I don't want to wear makeup every day. That's not what I'm saying. But when you like put effort into yourself and like, I don't know, when you get dressed and remind yourself that you don't look like you crawled out of the sewer every second of every day.
That's real.
It is so helpful because I wouldn't do that otherwise.
I feel like it's like when you're sick and then you look in the mirror and you're like,
literally,
this adds insult to injury.
Yeah, when you, it's like, I literally was thinking of that moment when you look in the mirror and you're like, whoa, like
who
you're
is
like,
that?
I haven't thought about myself or what I looked like or my own body all day. And you're like, whoa, like not even that what you look like is who you are, because it's not. It's more like you just want to feel like you are a human being worth being taken care of.
Yeah.
And you feel so neglected by your own self that you're like,
so just so many phases. It's just like, I feel so ugly because you just keep seeing yourself all day. When you've just crawled out of the bed, ripped yourself out of the bed.
Inchwormed out.
And and you did not do one thing, and you're just like frazzled, and you're tired, and you're sleep deprived, and you're just exhausted. And
Stains
you just
on your clothes.
Or
look
me
like
this morning where I'm
sewer
like,
rat.
I'm going to beat the system, set my alarm for 30 minutes before the boys get up. Joke's on you, Kath. The minute my alarm went off, which it wasn't even loud, I stuck it under my pillow so that the baby wouldn't hear it. The baby wakes up and wants to nurse literally the minute. So I'm like, okay, I'll nurse him for 10 minutes. Maybe he'll go back to sleep, and then I can just like start with my day. As I'm nursing him, I hear the boys start yelling and jumping in their beds, and I was like, hey, guess we're starting the day.
You try to beat the
hit the
system,
ground running.
but
You
the
try to beat the
system
system, but the
beats
system
you.
beats you. Yeah. So anyway, I would say, just trying my best to take care of myself. But
Yeah, that's
it's
I
hard.
feel like I can go off of that low for mine. Which was, I had one of those moments this week where I was like, Nick, I feel so ugly. I just texted him like,
Me
I
every
feel
week.
so ugly.
He's like,
texted
what?
him.
I know. I said to him,
He's
I was like,
"Are you
I feel like I look like a drowned rat in the morning. He's like, a drowned rat? He was like, you don't look like a drowned rat. He thought that was so dramatic, but anyway.
I know, I love doing that. Just like, I feel so ugly. I'm like, why do I feel so ugly? I think I look the same as I did last week, and I didn't think I looked as ugly last week. That's really good. But it's kind of like, if I don't, I realize certain things make me feel ugly.
Yes.
Like, that have nothing to do with appearance, actually.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
when I don't
yeah.
have as much energy, I feel really ugly, I will say.
Okay.
When my hair is oily, do you feel
Oh,
this?
my hair was
God.
oily
And,
when I
and
said
I look like
this.
the girl from The Grunge or whatever, or what is it called?
Grunge.
And you have like those pieces in the front, and you're like, I did not mean to highlight my front bangs
Or the ring.
with oil. The ring. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my low, is I had an, I just kept saying that to him, and he's like, what are you talking about? But I was just like, you don't get it. So
I know. Don't you feel like week to week you literally change so much? You're like, I swear I'm 100 times uglier than I was like a week ago.
Yes.
I swear.
Like,
It's
what did I
literally
do
when you feel that
wrong?
way, that's in your head.
Where did I go
It's
wrong?
in your head.
Where did I
You
go?
didn't change that much. It was a week ago.
Yeah, it's so weird. So that was my low, was the I feel so ugly text with the crying emojis. Cry, 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 cry.
I'm sorry, but that's so funny.
I'm like, compliment me. Give me some
Please.
specific
And you know what? I
compliments.
love fishing for compliments from my husband via text, because then I get the written then I get to reread it, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
It's like, I love everything about you. I'm like, that
You're
is
like,
not
everything.
specific.
Oh my god.
He loves my ears,
What?
wow.
which
Like-
never change. So they
I
never
just
look
love
ugly.
when Max
Yeah,
is like,
they do.
you're
They
a great
keep
mom.
growing over
Like,
time.
that's
Mine
nice.
look the same. What'd you say?
I just say I love when Max is like, you're a great mom, an amazing wife, you're doing so good. I'm like, thank you. I really
Sometimes
do.
I get
You're
mad.
like, I feel like
Sometimes
he's
I get
like,
mad,
well,
though.
you're a great mom.
No, that's when I get mad. I'm like, Nick, I really
I
need,
would be mad.
like, I need you to compliment me, okay? And then he's like, you're the best mom. And I'm like, I don't care. I do care.
Wait, really? I
Yes.
love that compliment.
No, because I'm like, I need a
She wants
compliment
a
about me.
romantic.
That's
I'm
like,
saying because I doubt myself as a mom. So I'm like, no one's told me that. I need to hear it.
No, Nick builds me up about being a mom all the time. I will say. He was like, you are
love
the
that for
best
you.
mom.
For both of you.
And I'm like, thank you, but I need you to tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Like, tell me
I
something
tell you, I'm
good.
pretty and I'm bright.
I do feel like I've had this conversation with so many friends of like, husbands forget. They like think you just know, and you're like, no, you need to say it, just like I need to say
Guys,
it.
I literally
gotta say it.
I can't fathom this. I'm like,
What?
you ask a man, like,
Well,
men
when you're with them for
compliment
years, you just kind of
you? I've
forget.
talked to men for so long. I'm like, what is that like?
It's called the roommate
Yikes.
phase. You got to get out of it.
I'm in the roommate
Maybe
phase
he's
with
in the roommate phase.
Oh yeah, Nick and I were definitely in the roommate phase like a little bit ago.
Not
It's
so
like
everyone
sorry.
goes through it.
the like newborn and like toddler stuff can get you in the roommate phase.
It's so
Not
hard on
so
your
sad.
marriage.
Gotta get out of there. Gotta
Not
get
so
out.
slay.
Then you get out. Hopefully you get out, and then you're good.
Yeah, roommates.
But it will get you there anyway.
I
So then
gotcha.
he gave me a bunch of compliments. That was good.
Love it.
That's
He told
good.
you you're pretty.
Aw.
Yeah,
He said your eyes were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said my eyes. were
Wait, didn't
cool.
Nick actually say that like years ago?
Definitely multiple men have said the exact sentence, but Nick did say that exact sentence. He did
That
tell
was
me
like
my eyes.
Your eyes are cool.
He did tell me my eyes were cool
It's so funny.
Slay.
Whoa.
before.
Stan.
Okay.
Now
anyway.
he said beautiful eyes.
Wow.
Oh.
Mature. Anyway,
Anyway, so we got out of that, and he gave me compliments and was nice. And he said, you're just having a rough time. This is one of those days when you just have to push through.
Okay.
Motivation.
Okay.
Fight on, fighter.
You're right. This is a day I need to push through.
Love some motivation.
So I was like, this day sucks. I just need to push through. It's
Him
gonna
on
be
the job site.
yeah, he's like,
He's on the phone. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, the concrete.
yeah.
He's like pouring concrete. It's just one of those.
It's one of those days.
We just can't see the
Oh, that's so funny.
No, he's like sending me like a super sensitive, nice, emotional, loving text, and then he's like, no, his job is not like that at all, which is really funny.
Aw.
That's so, the secret life
We
of
love
Nick.
a man being soft.
Secret
life.
sensitive. Anyway,
Slay.
so what was my high? The high of my week was when I really inspired myself.
Slay
Because,
queen.
which you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I went, okay, I know how to get myself into like an insane kind of place of inspiration that's necessary
Girl,
for this
I
job.
felt insane
Yeah.
after that too.
Yeah, me too.
We were walking around like,
That's what you have to do. So, and then I riled them up, and then we're all riled up. That's
Like-
how we have. That's why we have. a
It's
career,
delusions of grandeur in a good way.
yes.
actually. Yeah. So I did that to myself.
Some may call them dreams.
I did that to myself. Was it Monday?
Yeah.
On Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday, and I made us do an inspiration meeting on Zoom.
Oh, that was so good.
So
we
I
gotta do
just
those more regularly.
did some deep dives and some people, watched some interviews, and then I got myself so riled up. And then there you go. It was a really
I love
good.
it.
It was a good moment, and then riled everyone up, and then now here we are in this great
Now
place.
here we are.
We're just moving. Just you
Grooving.
wait.
When fighting.
Stuart Henry
Shaking.
Higgins.
Just you wait. Next. Sorry, that was
Um,
so long.
Okay,
Yes.
my high is that I've been to the pool like a trillion times this week.
Love that for
Every
you.
day I'm just like on my Zoom at 10.
That's my low.
On my Zoom.
Maybe that's why I feel ugly.
Yes.
When you're not in the sun. Okay, no. When
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
exercising, which I'm not very much right now because I have just some health stuff I'm figuring out. Not like serious stuff. It's just, I don't think it's serious at all. I don't
Yeah,
see.
it's like
I think it's
low
not
levels.
Isn't
serious.
it more like energy levels?
Yeah,
type
it just
thing?
like can't like
Yeah.
function kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like low iron, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I think that's when I
The
can't
nutrient
exercise.
deficient exhaustion.
When I'm not really exercising and when I'm not in the sun, I feel butt ugly.
Wait, guys, can I tell
Oh,
you?
gotcha.
I was out the other night, TM, and this man told me I don't look like I need to be in the shade all day. I was
Wait,
like, thanks.
what?
He's like, you actually look kind of tan. I was like, thank you.
He was just trying to
I
compliment.
know. And I was like, wow, a compliment. So I
You
felt
look
good
kind of
about it.
tan.
Amy, I gotta say, I think I'm calling it right now. Your future, you're gonna be a pool mom.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Amy is gonna take her kids to the
What?
pool like 6
I'll be
days a
the
week.
Never she'll be like,
Mom.
don't go over there.
She's gonna
don't
have
go over
like
there,
these
don't go
two
over there."
giant bags
I
that she
will
always
be one
has
of
stocked.
those psychos, no offense, that's like throwing them in the water.
Oh, you're gonna throw your newborn
You're gonna
in?
sign them
Hey,
up for
I
those
was
classes.
thinking
No,
older
the,
kids.
8-month slim classes, no.
No, I'm
They're
saying,
going in as-
I don't think Amy's taking multiple toddlers to the pool. I'm saying when her kids are older.
I think I am.
No, I'm saying for safety
Give
reasons.
them life
No,
jackets.
for safety
so
reasons,
fine.
Kat. That's what I'm saying. They'll be trained up from the time they were born. They'll be like
it.
in the pool.
Okay. Anyway, pool mom. Love it.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So that was your
and
high.
then my high is the pool. My low is just generalized mental
Anxiety
distress.
disorder. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say generalized anxiety disorder, perhaps. I'd say generalized.
That
mental
could be my
distress.
low.
But it's an adjustment. I'll get into it. Okay.
I already.
She already
I think I
went.
already
It's
went.
me.
Oh, slay.
My
It's a little
low was that I cried in the shower for 30 minutes
Oh, I cried in the shower yesterday too.
That actually
was
sounds
so
really
bad.
cleansing, though. Like literally cleansing.
But I was like really sad.
Aw.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they say on those like just girly things, crying in the shower because you can't tell the difference between the water and your tears.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
that's actually true though.
It's kind of fun to cry in
It's
the
like
shower,
a
I
Tumblr
feel like.
post from like 10 years ago.
I really relate
I
to
feel like
that.
it's kind of a good place to cry.
I feel like
It's
crying in
like-
the shower is
No,
the
it is a
best.
good place to cry.
It's
OMG,
so
on our
sacred.
TikTok one of these
What?
days, we should rank places to cry. That would be
Did you
fun
feel
to-
better
Oh my
after?
gosh, we
That would
should.
be a
Yes,
good
I
TikTok.
felt better after, but I kept crying and I had to stop because I had to get ready. So I was like, all right, done. Bye.
I saw that the shower, because it's like the
Slay.
warmth of the shower
It's
gives
comforting.
kind of meets your physical touch need a little
Yeah,
bit, which is
I
why I
could
go
feel
to the
that.
shower when I'm sad.
Oh,
No,
I
it makes
love
me
the
feel better.
shower.
I put on music, sad songs to cry to. I put in the hot water and I just cried.
Crying in the bathtub, when I did that the other month,
I don't really do that.
it was kind of humiliating, I will say. Because it like echoes, it's really loud.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this Nick sounds really dramatic to me, and I was just like,
Wait,
like,
guys,
"Ah."
are you not a silent crier? Because I'm a silent. I just sit there and silently.
Some days you
snuffle
can't be
to myself.
silent.
When I'm really crying hard, that's when I make noise, and that's when it's
Expressive
like I got
crying
a real problem.
is Yes.
And that's
Yes.
when I
Yes.
start choking and I throw
Yeah, and then you
up.
throw up. Yeah, yeah.
when I'm like
I'm
heartbroken
crying too
feeling,
hard. Yeah,
that's
right.
when the
Like,
sound comes
That has
out.
to be like a real
For
trauma
free.
for me
Yeah.
to like fall. I've only had a few times where I've fallen on the floor and you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
can't move and you're like
Yeah.
heaving
I've
and
had
sobbing.
many times
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that on the bathroom floor.
That's the real tea.
Oh
of
yeah,
life.
It
over the
ain't
last
right.
5 years, I would say.
I would say over the last 29 years.
I never had that crying until the last 5 years. Never had it.
Really?
In the
Anyway,
last few
fine.
years for me, probably.
Yeah.
Well, more frequently, I guess.
Okay.
Yep, never had it before. I love this season.
That's
what was
probably
your-
good,
what was
though,
your high?
That you are crying.
It's good
now.
that I'm crying. It's good. Yeah. It's good.
My high was that I ran for a sec on my walk
For a
for
sec.
a minute and a half.
Wait, Slay Queen.
But guys, I don't think you realize I haven't done any like I don't know what you would call like is that like high intensity kind of workout like lifting weights or running or anything other than like a casual walk I have not done for months, which is not right
You
for
and
me
both.
because I want to, but I only do it if I have the energy to. I'm not going to go do that if I don't
Feels
have
so
the
right.
capacity. So that
do
was
it.
a bit monumental for me
I love it.
because I haven't had the energy to do that for a few months. So just saying,
Slay.
I ran for a minute and a half. So
Doesn't that
can't
feel
catch
so good?
me. Yeah, it felt
Definitely
great.
can't catch
Who's
you.
that? All of us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
First, I need to tell you about our sponsor, Shopify, which we have used for years. The Cimorelli merch store is powered by Shopify. Is that the right way to
Slay.
say it? I think.
Yeah.
Laura, you're the one who knows a little bit more than me, but I'll get to these. But we've used Shopify for a while. You say you love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's just very user friendly. Like going through like the analytics and everything, it makes a lot of sense. Easy breezy. Never had one problem with it ever in my life.
Is
so-
that one of the only things we've worked with that we've never had one problem with ever?
It's rare.
Yeah, lol.
So anyone listen up, if you have a small business, you're selling anything. Are you selling anything? Shopify, it's for small and large. That might be a misconception. You might think it might not be for the small. It's for the small and the large. That's what we're trying to get across here. Nobody does better selling than Shopify. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet.
I believe
Slay.
it.
And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going up.
Slay.
So if you are growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. I was hoping we were all going to say it at the same time.
I was thinking about it.
Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Cimorelli merch uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Cimorelli, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Cimorelli to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Cimorelli. If you want to see all the full episodes and everything, you have to join our Patreon, patreon.com/Cimorelli, linked in the description. It's $5 a month. You get every full episode. You get our Motivation Mondays, where every Monday we tell you something that's been motivating us lately that will hopefully motivate you and inspire you to have an amazing week and really like be that pick-me-up that you need when those Mondays are rough and they just come at you and just bring you down. Like, hopefully we can bring your Monday back up and like really help you with your mindset. So we're doing Motivation Mondays, and we have like all these past series, like things we don't talk about, and like Lisa's Wacky Wednesdays are all on there.
Slay.
Everything we've done in the past, you get all that. You get all the past episodes, plus you get everything coming out. So boom. Oh, and there's different tiers. One of them, we do a live stream every month, and every single month we tell you something we haven't told the public yet. We tell you like a release date or the gender of Catherine's child or something that nobody knows. Like we play a full song for you before it's out. We do stuff like that, and we're gonna start putting unreleased demos on Patreon. So
Yeah.
that's what our Patreon is.
Slay.
Okay, let's get into the main topic. What era of life are you in right now?
What eras, ladies?
Going into fall-ish 2024, what era are you in?
How do I?
Well, we wrote this.
You gotta go down the line.
We said, what era are you in? How would you describe your life? What do you want to change? What do you want to keep?
Okay.
Slay me for those questions. They're really deep.
I think we should do like one person does one thing, and then I like it when we don't have one person has the pressure to do the whole thing at once.
Yeah.
I think it helps break it up and like shake it up.
So yeah. So we'll go with what era.
Okay, so first say what era you're in and explain it a little bit.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you're going to go through what you want to and describe it, I guess. That's kind of it. Then we'll go through what you want to change, what you want to keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like overall summary.
Yeah. What's your overall era of life right now? Who wants to start?
I've been thinking about this one today because I love a branded saying. I do.
Amy has many branded
Oh,
things.
I love
On
to
a
brand
daily.
things.
I love it.
Because it makes it more easy for me to understand.
Yeah.
It makes it more neat. So, I was talking about this in therapy, and I have realized
Therapy.
I'm branding this my mountain climber era. Because I love a mountain, as we know from our dating app episode.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I need a cool say. I can't just be like, oh,
So basically in therapy, I was like, okay, I live my life like I am slacklining on a tightrope across the Grand Canyon at all times. And
Not the slack lining, you're like jumping, doing tricks.
but there's no nets or anything, so I'm at like threat of death every single millimoment.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm trying to get off the tightrope, but it's not like I'm not doing hard things. So instead of being a tightrope walker, I want to rebrand as a mountain climber. So it's like when you're climbing a mountain,
Sounds better.
it's really hard. You have to do a lot of preparation, but there's beautiful sights. You're like accomplishing things. You're moving forward, but it's really difficult at the same time. There's, highs and lows. Like you're in the nature, like you're conquering this big mountain. And so I have started saying to myself sometimes, which I'm getting into this more, obviously, okay, I need to get off the tightrope. I need to get off the tightrope. I need to get down. I'm just climbing a mountain right now. And then I'll get to the top and then I'll start my next. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to learn to be that type of person that like takes the difficult things and just climbs instead of like wobbling on this horrifying slackline for every millimoment.
So you're in a big rebrand
Yes.
moment. You're like, we really got to rebrand right now.
Yeah, because I'm sick of living on this weirdo tightrope. It's torture.
Okay, tell me if you resonate with this. I think that's a really brilliant analogy.
Thank you.
And tell me if you think this is, because if you think about it, a tightrope and a mountain, you could be at the same altitude.
Yes.
But the difference is the level of support that you have.
Oh.
So it's
yeah.
like if you're teetering, you could be like, 5,000 feet up, whatever.
Yeah.
But you could be that high on a mountain, but you have more beneath your feet. Maybe you need to let your community
That's too
surround you.
real.
Yeah, and I was like,
connect.
it's
Oh my
the
gosh.
same way. I was talking about it. It's the same. You're getting to the same place, hopefully.
Yes. And it's still hard.
But it's different ways to get to the same place. Because
Yeah.
I have a tendency to be like, go from like, she was having me referee an internal fight. I was like, wow, that's so smart. But it's like, I have the two different sides of like, everything is horrible and abysmal and we're all going to die. Then, wait, actually, it's fine. This is fine. And I don't like stand in the middle of like, oh, it's actually not fine, but it's not horrible and abysmal.
Yeah.
It's like you need to stand in the middle and support your feelings. And that's like the mountain thing is like doing the climbing and the work to just stand there and like be able to like negotiate with myself of like, okay, there's these two sides, but neither of them is technically right.
Yeah. You don't need to lug 5 suitcases up the mountain.
Yeah, because I'm
You
like,
could call a friend, be like, help me carry it. Or can you just talk with me and distract me while I carry this up?
Yeah, because I'm just like such a jumping to like, no, it's fine because of this. And I don't do the middle sitting.
That
I
makes
hate
sense.
the middle sitting. I hate it.
That's a good era. I like that. I like mountains.
Yeah. So that's what I thought today.
It's a good image.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I
What's
guess
your
I can go.
era?
This is the dumbest era of my life.
It's a hard
Oh
one.
my gosh. My era is independence.
Instead of codependence,
It's
is that what you're
the
saying?
dumbest thing. It's not. It's good, but
Independence.
it's like I'm trying to be an independent woman.
Oh my
And, like,
gosh.
not dating anyone, okay?
Ugh.
And like,
Horrible.
which it's good, okay? Because literally my whole life, I just have used my like romantic interests as a crutch, I would say, to like escape into that fantasy or reality and not really deal with things, or just like that was my like soothing or like calming thing to make me feel better about whatever my problems are. And also I feel like I've been like kind of like a hunter my whole life.
Wait, what?
In that regard, where it's like not like I was being like that like aggressive, but like that's like the mentality of like always looking for the kill, you know.
No, literally. Because you're like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna starve and die.
No, literally.
Yeah.
And so it's been really hard for me to put down the bow and arrow.
That is so
Did
hard.
your therapist come up with this, or you?
No, she just told me that I probably shouldn't be dating anyone right now because I'm unstable or something. So I was like, okay, well, then I need to like do that on purpose though. Because I can't just be like, okay, like I need to like actually like take a breather and change my mentality. Because as I was thinking about that, I was like, because the idea of like me not dating on purpose was really disturbing to me, and that made me realize I have some problems. Because she was like, you know, she was just saying like you're doing all this good work, and if you are gonna go date some unhinged person, then it's going to throw you off, and then we're going to have to deal with that instead of your actual problems. And I'm like,
oh my God.
That's
okay,
so
you're right.
real.
That's like a distraction from your
What a
real
slay.
yes,
problems.
and it's like those are real things to work through, but it's like, but I'm working on other things. So I'm like, okay, it's not like I am like, I cannot speak to a man, but it's like, it has to be someone really stable that does not throw off anything in my life.
Yes.
Like I can't be like
gosh.
stressed. I can't be stressed, even if they're like a good person, whatever. If they're stressing me, I can't do it because I need to focus on like
I mean,
myself
that is so
and my
real, the Lord. You
problems.
need someone stable.
Yes.
That's
But
so
I'm
real.
saying, even though, if I met someone stable, but I might not be stable enough right now to not be unstable about
Yeah,
it, even
yeah.
then, I still can't do that, even if they're like a
Yeah.
great stable person.
Wow.
Which I don't know if that would be the case. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't.
So it's just really weird for
Difficult.
me to like decenter men, as they
Oh,
say.
decenter.
No, that's what I'm doing. And
I
like,
feel you.
No,
stop
that's so real.
thinking about it all the time and stop like
too real.
filling that space. And like my therapist, she's so real. She's like, you're not gonna fill that void of like a relationship. Like people act like, oh, love yourself instead. She's like, you're not gonna fill that void completely. So like, don't think you're gonna do that. But
Slay.
like
That's good. To
the
say.
void could be smaller, perhaps. And I'm like,
Oh, that is a good point.
yeah. And so it's just a journey of like focusing on myself and actually figuring out what that even looks like.
Focusing on myself.
Which is like, I don't know, like what is my life like without someone else to like wonder about or think about or stress about or try to harass, like
It ain't right.
so it's very hard to not think.
It's so hard not
About
to like
that.
chase men down the alley.
No, it
What?
is.
You do not chase men down the alley.
That's what you think, Christina. It doesn't mean you're actually
doesn't mean you
doing
physically-
anything.
it means in your
It can be
mind.
mentally too.
In your
and
mind,
It's
okay.
same
Chasing
thing.
a man
But it's
down
like-
the alley can mean just going to a certain mass time.
Yes, or
And
like
looking at
when I
them.
leave the house, I can't be thinking, oh, what if there's some hottie? I can't.
Yeah,
think
you
about
can't do
that.
it.
I can't be like, oh, I gotta look a certain way in case I meet a
Or
man.
keeping
No.
past
Too
people
real.
in your mental kitchen drunk drawer. Like,
Yes, I'm like,
Tamagotchi
oh,
pets.
what about that guy? No.
No,
No.
they are a flop.
So yeah, it's like the great unknown.
Wow.
My own personal.
It's braving your
life.
own wilderness, Laura.
Yeah, and it's hard
It
because
sucks.
all this stuff is coming up, and I'm like, ooh, yikes.
That's so good though.
But dealing with it.
You're like dealing. That's
good.
really brave to do
That's
that.
a good phase.
It's like moving
and
from
honestly,
loneliness to solitude.
What I realized though, because my therapist is like, you seek chaos. I'm like, okay. Is that like, I really can't be with a stable person until I stabilize.
Yeah.
Like I not have to be like perfectly stable, but I'm not going to, like, it's not going to work. So I need to like level up a bit and not like the chaos so much. So, oops.
That's good.
I think Amy, that's a good title.
That's the book
She's moving from loneliness to solitude.
That's a book that I'm reading right now.
I like that.
I don't like the solitude.
What is solitude?
It's good. It's important.
I feel like it's more just like
it's
from
not solitude
loneliness
so
to
much. I feel like
solitude.
it's more about like finding myself.
Well, that is what he means in the book by
it's
solitude.
Like, it's
That's
like
his word for
you're
it.
finding more of like a peace and being comfortable, like even when you're being alone, which is uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Most
pursuing
people.
men to pursuing you.
To pursuing my
It doesn't
goals.
mean you're meant to be alone
Yes,
forever.
catch
but
flights,
literally.
not feeling
Literally catch flights, not feeling.
catch backs.
What? Lauren's other era title: Catch Flights, Not Feelings. Love that.
It's like mine is
Alright,
the
that's
non-stray
enough.
dog era.
Next.
What?
Wow, the non-stray dog. I love it.
Because I don't need to be nipping at men's ankles.
No, literally.
my
It's more like showing up at the door and like they come out of the door like, oh, you
or
again.
accepting strays that come down the street. I'm like, no.
Okay.
We're all stray dogs
Oh my
here.
gosh, that's funny.
Well, okay.
Kath, what's
who's
yours?
I don't have a good title for
You
it.
mean, I'll make up one for
I don't
you.
have an
We'll make
analogy.
one up for
Okay,
you
maybe
if you
Amy.
need it.
Amy's the queen of these analogies.
I am.
Okay. I feel like I'm on the precipice of two different seasons that are similar but different.
What?
So I'm just coming out. I'm about to come out of this first 6 months of having a baby, which in my mind is a very specific time. Yeah. I know he's about to be 6 months in 1 month. He's just turning 5 months like tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
He's my baby's 5 months. I don't know if you relate as a parent. I feel like the first 6 months are markedly different than the second 6 months.
Yes.
The first 6 months you have half that it's a newborn, struggling with sleep. You have no routine. Your life is just thrown off the rails. You're just surviving. You're like, I don't know what day it is. I would try to guess the day so many times last few months, and I'd be off by 3 or 4 days.
Oh
like
my
the
gosh.
date. I was like, I don't know what day it is. You're literally just
I feel
surviving.
that.
You're just getting by, forgetting everything, can't remember anything. And I also have 2 toddlers. That's another thing. So I've also been in my 3 under 3 era, which was a very short 6 month era because my toddler's about to turn 3. So literally, in September, I will have a 6 month old and my toddler's turn 3 that month. So it's like things are just changing. And I am excited because I have been in survival mode. I just kind of accepted it. It is what it is. But I'm hoping, it's still going to be hard, but I do feel like it's going to get easier in some ways. Things will hopefully be easier for me to like take a little bit of care. Like I'm trying to find like what does self-care look like when you're like parenting from like 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like how do you find like your own self-care in that like such small time when you're exhausted?
No.
And I'm hoping that things are shifting a little bit for the better as my baby is like hopefully learning to sleep better. He did only wake up one time the last like 3 or 4 nights in a row.
Ooh.
Which was really good. But then before that, he was waking up every 1 to 2 hours. So
That's tough.
I don't know. But I'm hoping that we're getting to a more like sleeping mostly through the night. And then I can
that'll
feel a
work
little
wonders on
more
you.
sane again. Yeah. That's my era. I don't know. It's a
I don't know what to
transitional
call
time.
Mine either.
You're just kind of like your healing journey.
Healing era.
Oh,
No, I don't know about that. That's
Well,
quite it. It is kind of.
That's what you're trying. That's your intention, I feel like.
Yeah, this is my like healing my physical and mental health era.
Yeah.
So this is my coming to the edge, coming to your limits as being the eldest sister who likes to just push through everything and thinks you can just keep pushing, and then you actually reach the limits, and then you're like, oh my gosh,
The limit does exist.
I cannot keep pushing, unfortunately. I've been stopped. So then you realize you actually have to heal your mental and physical health that you've been ignoring
That's hard.
for years.
That's hard for an oldest
It's not like I
daughter.
ignore it. It's confusing. It's not like I ignore it, but it's just like I work on just maybe the first level of it. I'm just like constantly working on like the first level. And now I'm like, it's time to like actually do the actual work, which is why I hired all these professionals I'm working with this year.
Proud of you.
So I'm like just working on all sorts of things with my physical health and then all sorts of things with my mental health and really getting to the bottom.
Do you feel like you hit like a period of like burnout and you're kind of coming out of the burnout now?
Not
Do you
burnout.
feel like
It's
no?
kind of different. Like
It's
when
like
was
past
the burnout?
Depletion?
Oh.
Yeah, it was more like complete depletion.
Yeah.
It's just like deplete. Because burnout to me, it feels like when you're like not inspired and you just have like nothing in you. But it's weird. It's like I have so much in me, like mentally, like creatively and stuff like that. Like I feel very alive. But then it's like my nervous system. The main problem that everyone I'm working with is saying is my nervous system, which is kind of obvious, right? I mean, since a very young age, my nervous system has just been so out of whack. Like everyone would tell me I'm so high strung, I'm so stressed. Like I knew that from a young age that I was the stressed, high strung, anxious child. I knew that. We didn't use the word anxious at that time though. It was stressed and high strung all the time. Like since I've been in fight or flight from such a young age, just constantly. And my nervous system is just so yeah, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. My nervous system is just so shot. And it's like, we can't do this anymore. It's so overworked. It's like, you can't do this anymore. Like I've been really pushing for 34 years and now you have to stop and replenish.
34 years is a long time to push.
Because when you have, what I'm learning is, and I'll go over this when I learn way more. I don't know that much yet. But what I'm learning so
she'll
far.
let us know.
I will let everyone know. I will be screaming this everywhere because there's probably a lot of moms in my position who would like to know this. But
or non-moms.
Just what I'm learning apparently is that when your nervous system is just like in fight or flight, like stress, such a high level of chronic stress for a long period of time, it depletes all these different things in your body. Like it has to use extra of a lot of different things. And if you're not also helping it like replenish those things and then also stopping doing that, like you can't do that forever, it can only go for so long, then you just become very depleted of a lot of things. And when your body gets depleted of one thing, it can throw off something else. And then that throws off something else. Then you have all these different problems that are created that are creating more problems, basically. Yeah. So we're identifying what all of my problems are right now.
I heard something once, tell me if you resonate with this. It was like when your body's been in fight mode for a long time, which is like hypervigilance, then it eventually shuts off and goes into freeze mode.
Yes.
And that's when you like shut down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I resonate with that.
I thought about that recently and I'm like, yeah, I am so like frozen so much, and that is so true. And that's
yes.
so not
I
like
go into
me.
freeze
I feel
all
like
the time.
some people are stuck in fawn also.
Oh, yes.
Like,
all the time.
It's people pleasing.
Yeah, it's interesting. So anyway, that's I don't know what you call it, but
it's your healing era.
It's the time where my body has told me enough is enough. You cannot. I like to do that thing where you just ignore something until it becomes so incredibly severe that you're like, okay, I'm right on the edge of having some very, very bad consequences, or maybe the consequences happen to me. I'd get right up to the edge. I'm kind of like, nothing's that wrong, and then I get to the point where it's like, this is very, very, very bad, and then I'm like, okay, now we can get some help for this.
I feel like
till then.
Your word is like restoration.
Yes.
Like you're like restoring.
Yours is kind of like reemergence. You're
Reemergence.
Coming out of the cave.
You are.
That's true.
I feel that.
I told you I'd think of one for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of having a baby, you're like so focused on your helpless little baby. And then the next 6 months, you are like, okay, now I can take a deep breath and try to think about what I could possibly do for myself in this moment. And then if you're me, that's when your postpartum depression tries to strangle you at the same time.
That's
crazy. It's like I'm fighting myself for that next 6 months.
Wow, guys. It's weird, but I feel like our eras are all kind of like
aligned.
They like all they all kind of align.
Yeah, you guys are decentering men.
Yeah.
No, but like wait,
I'm saying do they all align?
I'm saying in a deeper sense, it's like healing in a way.
Yeah.
We're all healing in different ways.
We're all trying to get out of fight or flight is a big one.
Well, yeah, that is kind of what's happening. Like, I mean, collectively, the world, everyone just went through such a trauma in 2020.
Oh my gosh.
And I think if you had other traumas going at the time, then this just heightened. If that was a season of your life where you had other traumas going, your traumas were worse than they would have been, right?
Agree, yeah.
So all of us collectively, we had some different personal things, we had some collective things, we had a lot of traumatic, actual traumatic, like my therapist at the time had me like go through all the traumatic things that were happening, and it was like 11 things, and she's like, this is the most of like any of my clients right now. She's like, you need to realize like this is a lot, like you're not just weak, like you're going through a lot of traumatic things at once. So we all went through a lot of stuff, and we've all been like working through it, like talking here and there, and I feel like this year we kind of all collectively were like, we are done with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are rising from the ashes. That's what we're all doing.
This year has been big for all of us.
No, it
We've
has.
healing. We've all been like really hitting the therapy and like trying to just actually be aware of our problems and be like, what should we do to change?
Yeah.
We were all saying enough is enough this year.
They're like, someone's got to do something.
Okay, now the question for each of us to answer is, what do you want to keep from your current season, your current era, and what do you want to change going to the next one?
I feel like there's not much I want to keep in certain ways. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, you are.
I want to keep continuing to work through my deep problems. I would keep that.
Slay.
And then I will
can't keep
change
that.
so many things.
Same.
My entire mentality.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
My life. Like, yeah. I don't know.
No, I get it.
I just try to
know.
not think about relationships all the time.
I mean,
and
that's
think
a
about
big
other
change.
things.
That is a big
really,
change.
That's a
Yeah.
very powerful change, though.
and really think more about like my goals actually, because that to me is the only other thing that's as like
Fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
I wish I had done that, because I was definitely one of those people who like always needed to have a guy, basically, and I just went from my boyfriend to my boyfriend, and then I was married him, and
Yeah.
I don't regret that part, obviously, because I'm very happy that I married Nick, but I needed so much work that I didn't know I needed, and it would have been very helpful to me to have had a single time, or even not even, I wouldn't have had to be single necessarily, but a time where I actually worked on that. And I could have been in the relationship, in our long distance relationship, I could have worked on this.
Yeah.
A time where I decentered men, even if I had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I really need to change that, but that is a really difficult thing to change.
It is so hard.
I mean, that was like my whole life. I feel
Yes.
it's really hard to not, I mean, still I'm like, it's hard. And that's why I am kind of working on therapy. I am working on that. I really am working
You
on
should
that.
read the book that I'm reading.
Okay.
It's like detaching, but not in like a hateful way.
No.
In like a peace and love way.
It's just so easy to make men
Yeah.
/a man like your everything, and like
Or like a
because
relationship.
they can just make
Yeah.
you feel so
They
good.
just
but they
take
can
you
also
on
make
a
you
roller
also-
coaster too. Not even on purpose. Like just
Yeah.
because they do something that makes you feel insecure. They didn't even mean to, and then it's like, oh, my whole day I'm anxious. It's like,
And it's like that Sabrina Carpenter song actually, where she's like, boys, like, you don't have to lie to girls, because if they like you, they'll lie to themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
Or she's saying
Literally.
like, you don't have to make up things to make yourself seem better. She's already
I
doing
just
that.
wrote
Yeah.
that into a song that was like, I turned
Yeah.
myself into a liar.
She's
It wasn't
already
even
gonna
you.
do that.
yeah.
So it's like, we need to get
it's
out
like
of
I don't
that.
want my mood and my life to be controlled by the actions of a man,
Absolutely not.
especially if they
You
aren't
cannot.
even towards me.
Yeah.
No, that's what I work on in therapy a lot, of like things that Nick will do that literally have nothing to do with, like, he'll be tired.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you literally hate me. Cool.
Yes.
Literally.
And she's just like how my anxiety can spiral out of control in moments like that, where it would have been nice to not have something that has nothing to do with me hurt me
Or
so
just
Yeah.
much.
like needing so much reassurance. I feel like I always do, and it's just like, okay, you can relax.
To be able to
maybe.
have an appropriate amount of reassurance, and to be like actually feel reassured when someone gives you an appropriate amount, instead of needing like an excessive amount that actually never leaves you.
Because they
feeling
can't.
reassured.
If you don't trust it, nothing they can ever do or say will fill it. Nothing.
Because nothing actually will fill that in
Yeah.
the first place.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anyone who can actually.
Yes.
It doesn't exist. Someone then can actually reassure you when you are constantly feeling unsafe because you haven't actually healed those wounds.
Yes.
Like, there actually is no one. It doesn't matter how good at reassuring they are.
No,
they
literally.
can't actually do it for you.
No.
I feel like for me, it's like I really have like viewed it as like a drug, and I'm like, I need to get off drugs. You know?
I feel you.
Because I don't want to see it like that.
No.
Yeah.
And we need to find our hope in the Lord.
And our hope is in
Literally.
the Lord.
In one man, the Lord. Okay,
There's
all
only
right.
one man that I'm
Anyway. What do you want to keep? What do you want to
This is not something that I'm doing, but I want to keep it. So it's going to be one answer.
Okay.
I would like to keep myself. I need to get back to myself. And
Back
that's the
to
change. I want to change back to doing my creative hobbies, running my schedule, not letting my schedule run me.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be like, that's the point of this, is taking back my own power of like, I am the one that runs my life. I am the one that like has to live like and has to do these things. Like, I don't want to just be like some Swiss Army knife for other people or for myself. I want to have I want to have a deep, rich life where I'm doing things that I love, and I'm like doing a lot because I love to do a lot of things, and it's like fun and exciting and pushing myself in appropriate ways instead of torturing myself. So that's my vibe.
Love it.
Do you know what you want to keep and change?
I don't. What do I want to keep?
You can say
Out
nothing.
with the trash.
Your children? You'll keep your children?
I mean, I will keep my children.
Then you'll
Yes.
change your sleep schedule.
Why are all of us like, what do I want to keep?
Because it's like we're trying to shed an old skin.
Well,
yeah,
one
it's
thing
just
I
been a
want to keep, I
hard
feel like we all want to
season.
keep, is I want to keep the resilience that I've
Yes.
built. I want to keep that and build upon it. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
say you
I
have
think
a
I
lot of
could have
resilience
more.
from what you've been through?
Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely have a lot
And you
of
need
resilience.
to keep that.
I feel like having twins was really hard, and having 3 under 3 was like way harder than I thought. Like pushed me to the brink.
I'm scared of 3. I've always been scared of that.
I feel like it might be a little bit better because Barrett's gonna be older.
Yeah.
I think having them all so young at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like they're so
and
needy.
2 at the same time is not 2 for the price of 1.
Right.
It's 2
not.
of the price of like 12.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's just, and I think for me, I have already have like a bit of a caretaking kind of problem where I
Yes.
feel so guilty, even with no one who even needs me, taking care of myself.
Yes.
So it's like it's a lifelong thing that I've been trying really hard to like overcome that and try to prioritize even just a small amount of time for myself. But I always feel like with them being so young, I'm like, they need me, and I'm the one that they're the most, even though they're definitely very comfortable with their dad too. But I'm like, oh, but Max has had a hard day at work. Like, he's tired too. Like, I shouldn't
you
like.
had a hard day too.
I know. And I realize it's like, I cannot come to them. I mean, I can. I do it all the time. But I don't want to come to them as this ragged, disheveled version of myself, because that's
real.
not the mom that they
Too
deserve.
real.
Me
Yeah.
taking time for myself on a daily basis, which I don't do, but I want to do and I'm working towards, that makes me happier, more peaceful, more grounded, less likely to get into a rage. Like, I just
Lash out.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's easier to be a good caretaker if that's the role that you're in when you caretake yourself. I just keep thinking about this phrase. It's like, I don't know where I saw this, but it was like, the mother needs to be mothered.
Yes.
And I keep thinking like the caretaker needs to be caretaken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah.
God, Max is equally as tough as you.
Yeah.
Well,
No, he
sometimes
is.
as a woman, I'm like, well, I feel like I can handle a little more
Yeah.
sometimes.
I
I'm
feel like
next
moms are like
time-
uniquely
I know
wired
it's
that like
weird.
Well,
we
just
can
throw them to the wolves.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then we want to take care of our husbands. Like, well, he's really tired. I can handle a little more. And then it's like, I really can't.
But my therapist
handle
gave me a
anymore.
great phrase that I keep using, which she was like, if you're like worrying about, oh no, like Max is watching them or whatever, it's like, you just have to say like, that's his journey. Like,
Yes!
and it's not even in a mean way. It's just like,
No, that's
stop
good.
thinking that no one can handle
That's a
anything.
man
It's
to
just
run 70
let it-
miles a
Wait,
week.
I like
No,
that.
I know. Listen,
If
he's
he can run 70
he's a
miles a
great-
week, he can.
he's a great dad. He's
That's
very
his
capable.
journey.
But
Exactly.
if he's tired, I'm like, oh no, like I shouldn't
that's
leave the
his
kids to them. It's
journey.
like, I'm tired too. Like we
Yeah.
both have our own journeys, and you can't just worry about everyone else and not ever like take care of yourself or like
Yeah.
worry about your own your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like all 4 of us are like, we're like so I don't know, I'm laughing. We're so depleted.
Yeah.
I was
Can
this is how me and Max feel right now in our season. I keep thinking it's like these two like completely broke people being like, please, I just need $5. Yeah. Like, I'm so sorry. I literally have $5 million in debt. I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like that's kind of us where we're all.
I'm $5 million
But
in debt.
Okay, I will say the one thing I would like to keep for my season is that I started doing weekly therapy with a really great therapist, and that has been a game changer for me.
I love that for you.
There's been some really hard days where I've like wanted to throw in the towel, honestly. But then there's been some really good days too, even in a difficult season, where I was like amazed at myself. I wanted to show you guys a video of me. I haven't even watched it yet, but I'm like, that was probably a really funny video of me frantically running in the house today, carrying all these bags, running out the door, sweating. And I was like, I don't know. I have a lot of days like that, but I also have a lot of days where I'm like, yeah, actually okay. And that's surprising. Or like really good moments where I'm like, everyone is flowing really well with each other today.
Because that's life. It's never all terrible and it's never all good.
Yeah.
It's all.
And there's some really, like I will say one moment
shining moments in the garbage.
One moment that is a shining moment is like when I sit with the boys at night and read stories to them. It doesn't always go perfect. Sometimes everyone's fighting and trying, I need the blue car. But like there's a lot of nights where we all just sit on the couch and I'm like, wow, what a family. I'm so thankful.
I know.
And just remember that.
Slay.
So many times that Nick and I look at each other like, these children, I swear. Well, sometimes we're like, what the heck? No, there's so many times we're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm
We're
like, these
look at
children, I
these
swear. And I'm like,
children.
oh, these children.
We have these crazy, adorable, crazy, but like really fun.
And
like,
we get to watch them grow.
children.
Yeah.
Like, how are these our children?
I know. I feel unworthy
It is
of them.
crazy. I'm like, how?
Slay.
I'm
So
writing a
perfect.
song about that.
Yay!
I love
Okay, let me get to mine. What do I want to keep on? Oh, well, I feel like, okay, as a gal with depression, I feel like depression is basically something that's kind of like activated the worst things are for you. So like when you're more sleep deprived, when anything's going wrong, it's like the depression starts to like creep in and like get worse. And I feel like entering motherhood, I gave birth in 2020 during COVID.
That's horrifying.
Entering mother in COVIDhood.
Some things I have to
COVID,
ask God. Why?
that is not right. I
That's
will
not
say
right.
it's not right. So like, I feel like the way we talk about mother and everything is just like, oh my gosh. But like, this is a different time, guys. Okay. Entering in COVID, this is traumatic. Okay. That was my entrance into it. And it definitely traumatized me a bit. I'm literally in therapy to work through that so that I don't have to bring that into my next pregnancy and birth and everything. Right. So I feel like my depression has really been like taking a hold of me and like letting go for a second, taking a hold and letting go. And for the last few years, like it's been really doing that. Right. So in this new season, I'm like taking my brain back really. And I've been building a lot of resilience in this year. So I'm really going to continue what I've already been doing, which is like really, really, I mean, it takes so much to do this, but really changing what I'm doing. Like the habits, just the mental habits, like
so
how I've been
hard.
feeding my brain every day it's just been so negative.
Yes.
So negative. And, or just neutral or negative. And just the power of intentionally like feeding yourself positive, powerful things during every day, like it's crazy, but it's so hard because your brain will fight against you so hard to be like, no, just lay there and go on TikTok now that you have a free moment. You're so tired, just do that. But I can spend
It's trying to stick you in freeze.
I can spend a small amount of time working on my different things, and I've been doing that. I want to keep that. I want to keep building this new mindset that I've been building over the last year that has been changing my life. I want to keep with that. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm keeping that, and I'm letting go of the depression like cycle. It's just a cycle that feeds on itself, and I'm so done with it. So I'm letting go of that.
Removing yourself from
and
the
I'm
narrative.
I'm letting go. This is what I'm letting go of. I'm letting go of pushing down my feelings and all my problems until the problem is I don't even realize they're there because I'm pushing them down so much. So now I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if you think you're fine right now. You're actually not. We already know this. Been confirmed by multiple people. You're not okay.
It's been confirmed.
It's a confirmation
That's
for me.
how I cannot trick myself anymore. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, professionals confirmed that you're not okay.
You're like, my sources
So
say.
you actually do have to.
You're like, we have sources on this paper. Like,
Yeah.
they're cited.
So that's what I'm doing.
We should do a follow-up episode in like 6 months.
We'll be in a
And
new
see where we
season.
are in our new era.
Oh my gosh, we better.
We
guys.
should.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay. Well, taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
There we go. That was
Slay
our
queen.
I feel like it was so heavy.
Yeah.
But I also felt like it was good.
But I will say,
it's very
I
real.
feel like every single person is going through a heavy.
Yes.
Like every person until they like shed the heaviness of COVID and what happened during COVID with everything that happened in your life. Until you actually shed that and heal from that, I think everyone's going through a heaviness. TBH.
I agree.
It's not just us.
I agree.
Okay, so let's go to our 5 perspectives, and we have a video from Lisa for this one. So Lisa sent us a video, so we're gonna do all of ours, and then we're gonna play Lisa's. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
And this question comes from our Patreon.
We
Slay.
love our patrons. So the question: What do you think? What do you think strangers would guess is each of your careers purely based? So just answer for yourself, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Purely based on each sister's appearance and vibe.
Wait. So
Has
we're
anyone
just
ever
saying
guessed
that
to
from
you?
Oh, okay. No one's ever tried to guess what I do.
Okay, I think
hard.
people would guess I'm a realtor.
I think people would guess I'm some sort of like teacher.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Kath too. They
I was
would
gonna
guess
say,
you're
or maybe
teacher
like
for
a
sure.
nurse.
A nurse. She would
I
still
feel like
be a
I have nurse energy.
Nurse, you have nurse and teacher.
I
mean
don't know if
teacher?
you have nurse energy. You just have caretaker energy.
Wait a
Caretaker.
But
minute.
nurse is a different vibe.
I could for sure give nurse.
You give nurse, actually.
Now that I'm thinking about all the nurses,
like,
I've
I'm thinking like those blonde girl nurses.
Like the
it's kinda
ICU
giving
nurses,
you-
I know they're kind of like intense. Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving teacher for sure.
I was gonna say teacher.
What?
Honestly.
I don't really
You
know.
are kind of
I feel
giving,
like I'm just
like,
a normal
you-
gal. I don't know.
Let me think. I would guess you
Barista.
worked.
Corporate slave.
Laura, I would guess that you worked at a med spa. I will say.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, like facials.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff?
you're like an esthetician or
Ooh,
something.
yeah,
I would
okay.
definitely guess
I
you're
would
in
guess
beauty.
you're like yeah.
I feel
what?
like Lauren would be like a hip coffee shop girl. Like she works at like a hip coffee shop.
Okay,
Lisa,
barista.
100%.
Lisa.
Dental assistant. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lisa's
or makeup
Lisa's
artist.
in beauty. She's
Yes.
either I
yeah.
guess that kind of counts like aesthetics. She's either a
Hairstylist.
dental assistant, she's in hair, she's in makeup, or she's like an esthetician or something like that. Lisa's in the
She's
world
so
of beauty
that.
in
She's
some
got
way.
those
That
perfect
is
teeth.
so Lisa.
She's
That's so
for
funny.
sure in that. You would never
my
guess I was in that world. All right, let's hear what Lisa said. I hope she says that because that is so true.
That's so.
Hey guys, I'm really lost on this question.
Well, it's hard to think of yourself.
I'm trying to like visualize
You
everyone.
need to tell her if she doesn't guess it.
What would your career be based on your appearance? I mean, TBH, Catherine and Christina, I would just guess stay-at-home mom, you know, as I would of myself
Okay,
as well.
that's
The
true.
way
You're
that
not
I am
wrong.
dressed and the things that I'm doing most of the time. If someone sees me out in public, I feel like they're guessing stay-at-home
true.
mom. I don't know.
Yeah.
Amy? I don't know. I feel like her vibe is receptionist. Just to be real. Like,
That's true.
she's outgoing, she's friendly, she's got, I don't know, just, like, she could be a receptionist at H&R Block or something. I have no idea. Lauren, I feel like because we live in Nashville, they'd be like, oh, she's probably a songwriter. I don't know. She has songwriter vibes.
You
Which
can
is pretty
songwriter. I can
accurate.
H&R Block.
But I think Lauren's the only one that I think people would guess is a musician if they didn't recognize her.
I was gonna say that,
as a
actually.
whole. Just keeping it real, guys. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know. Did I say me already? Yeah. Anyway, God bless America.
Wait, what did she say? She
said stay-at-home
We
mom.
need to. I'm gonna text.
I
Lisa and tell her
actually
what
could
we
see
said.
you being a songwriter just because you remind me of other songwriter
Yes,
people
you
I've met
actually
in
do, you
Nashville.
do.
It's like this specific vibe.
What?
You do.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
You
not.
are a songwriter.
Okay, Katja had to step out and get her children, so we are. Ariel behind the camera. I saw a big jump. Anyway, if anyone saw my eyes go like, So we're going to go to Sister Spotlight. Where each week a different sister has a spotlight on her. We have Get Real. Get Real with Christina. Sapper Your Sassy Thoughts with Kath. Lisa's Corner, Amy's Rants and Raves, and Lauren's Take. This week the sister is Ding Me. Yay. Get Real with Christina.
Get real with us, lady.
It's me. So basically, this is Get Real with Lisa, actually. I was inspired by Lisa in our sister chat today.
Oh, ooh.
So Lisa, as you know, she's supporting her husband through his cancer treatments right now. And that is quite the journey. I'm sure at some point, I feel like she'll probably talk about this. Not now.
Yeah.
After. I'm sure she'll probably open up about this because Lisa's really like gets it out there. I don't know. Maybe she never will, but I feel like she will. But she has just been saying a lot of things recently that have been really inspiring me. With like perspective, and that's what she was talking about, perspective today a lot. And she also been really talking about gratitude. She'll post that sometimes. She'll be like, guys, you have so much to be grateful for, in her story about like waking up in the morning. Yeah. And people say that and it doesn't really hit you. Yeah. It doesn't hit you like, oh, I woke up today. But until you are, especially in her position, we're like a secondhand version of it, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like we're experiencing it, but not in the way at all that she is experiencing it, living with, being married to the person. It's a very different experience, but we're still experiencing it in our own ways. And it still has had a big impact on all of us, obviously. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about that, the idea of how people, like her perspective has drastically changed forever on life, right? On so many things about life, on health, on life in general. And she was saying how so many people are not able to be grateful for what they do have. They just don't realize what they have, because when you have a tragedy happen to you, you have loss or any kind of thing like this, it changes your perspective so much. I mean, you could go different ways with it in your brain. You could go different ways. Not everyone will go this way, but it shifts your perspective and you start to realize like the little things that you could be so grateful for that you did take for granted before, that people talk about, like, be happy that you woke up today. Like I'm saying, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not really particularly.
Yeah. Yeah. But the way she was saying it really hit me today about, and I think it is a challenge. The idea of being grateful for what you actually have is very difficult.
Yes.
Right? It's so easy to look at your life, which is just so crazy. It's so easy to look at your life and be like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks.
Writing lists.
I suck in this way, this way, this way, this way, and go through everything that's going wrong because it sucks, right? And it's real. That is real. But it's weird that if you change your perspective, if something happens to you in your life, or you can do it even without something happen, you can. I've done that before sometimes. You can actually change your perspective. Sometimes you have to just listen to someone else's story or watch something, read something, and it changes your entire perspective. And you could seek that out. You could seek out a change of perspective. Mm-hmm. You can change your whole perspective, or some of it, to realize, to actually be grateful, to actually look at something that you have and be grateful for that thing that you have. It doesn't have to be everything. That would be kind of hard to be grateful for everything. But I want to encourage everyone, like, think about so many people who, I mean, if they wake up and they can't walk, or they can hardly breathe, they can hardly move. It's hard to be grateful that you can walk or that you can breathe. It's hard to do that. But if you think about it enough, you may be able to conjure some sense of gratitude within yourself. And doing a gratitude journal was like a very, very powerful experience for me. Even though it was so dumb in the moment, you just like write stuff, but then your brain starts to work differently after you do it enough times. It's weird how these things work that don't feel crazy in the moment, but then like crazy things happen.
Well, not to do your take, but like, okay, I don't know if you experience this. I feel like you probably do, but it's like after you go through a really bad like depression time, And then you're just living one day, and then you realize you're slightly happy about something, and I start crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually feel happy.
I
when it's like,
this thing.
it's not that serious. It's just like you look at the sunset and you're like, that's so pretty, and you're like, I don't feel like I'm dying.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But you feel so grateful for something that's not that big of a deal because of how you felt.
Well,
previously.
motherhood made me grateful for so many things. Like, just follow me here. When I walk into my room at night, I don't have any children in my room anymore. Normally I have a baby in there, right? I don't have any kids in my room. I don't have a crib in there. When I walk into my room at night, the feeling, and I didn't used to have this in my own room, the feeling of like euphoria and like luxury and relaxation, knowing I can turn on the light now. I can just turn on the light. I can just open a drawer. I can just take a shower and not like be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to wake up my child. I'm so grateful every night, every single night.
Yeah.
I go, wow, I am so grateful.
And I never enter my room thinking that because that's my norm.
So grateful for this room. Oh my gosh. And I didn't used to have that before, but it is like pure luxury. And that's my perspective change.
I have
right?
had that actually after babysitting.
Well, that's one thing. You can do something that changes your perspective. Like put yourself in that situation and then you're like, oh my gosh. Sometimes you just have to get in a situation that gives you perspective. So anyway, I want to close this by saying I'm being struck by the power of gratitude and the power of perspective recently, which you hear people say that all the time, but it will change your life. And I think we all want our lives to be changed, TBH.
Yes.
So you may want to explore that. How could you shift your perspective to even be grateful for just your health, something about your health, even if it's not going well? And sometimes thinking about someone else does make me think about like this person would be so grateful if they could get out of bed and just walk somewhere today. Like they'd be so grateful, even if I have other things going on. I could think about that. Or like, this person would be so grateful if they could have 2 kids right now that they don't have. That can hit me like, okay, you know what? This does suck. And I'm not gonna invalidate what's hard, because I went through that phase where I'm like, well, this is hard, so I don't care. But now I'm like, no, that sucked. When I did that every day, I'd be like, well, what I'm going through is hard. And I did that every single day. And at the end of the day, all I got from that was thinking that my life was hard and sucked. That's what I got from that. That is what I got from that. So instead, I would like to be like, you know what? This is hard. This is a challenge. But also there is absolutely someone who would be so grateful if they could switch places with me and they could have this in their life. They'd be so grateful. They'd be like jumping up and down, yelling and screaming at God with gratitude. Thank you so much for this. A moment that I'm like crying about or whining about. So I'm not going to say I'm not allowed to cry or whine. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say, can I take a moment to think about that and be like, let me change my perspective and like try to find some gratitude for something today. Like, do I need to go my whole day not being grateful for one thing? No.
What's
absolutely
that
not.
quote that's like, imagine if you only had the things that you were grateful for?
Oh my. Wait, that is a really good perspective.
That's a really tough one.
Okay, if you did an exercise where, where today you wake up, the next day you wake up and you're like, okay, I need to be grateful for everything today that I want to have tomorrow.
Oh.
What would you be grateful for?
If you woke up tomorrow with all things you were grateful for today,
and you knew that was going to
I
happen,
may have nothing tomorrow
I would
morning.
actually have a few things.
what would you wake up with? I'd wake up with my own room for sure. I would wake up with my own room. So anyway, the end.
Love it. That was really good.
Let's think about that.
Let's do
If
it.
we woke up tomorrow with only things we were grateful for, what would we want to be grateful for today to make that happen? Let's think about that.
Literally.
All right, guys, this was Get Real with Christina, sponsored by Lisa. Thank you to Lisa's text. She was saying, like, guys, we're young. She had this whole thing. It's like, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. Like, if you have something in your life that you hate, change it. If you have something that's, like, dragging you down, like, get rid of it. Like, make it. You can do things. You are capable. You really can do something. Like, no one is tying your hands behind your back. No one. But in some situations of health, it can completely tie your hands behind your back. Maybe your legs behind you, but you can't even walk. Like, there's so many things that can happen, right? Or your brain. But even in those impossible situations, people still find a way to do something.
No, they do.
So even then, people find a freaking way. So maybe you need to watch one of those stories of people who are in those insane situations and they're in some compromised situation with like some kind of health thing or like their brain, their body, whatever's going on, and they like overcome and they still do something extraordinary with the cards they are dealt. That's what we need. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. I need to go take some deep breaths. That's what I need to do.
Me too.
Let's all take some deep breaths.
Do some breathing exercises, okay? We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.